Hi, third graders, TGIF. We are doing a really nice job returning work in on time every week, and I appreciate you guys being on top of things. Good job, and we're really proud of you, and I really appreciate that you guys have been asking me questions daily. That lets me know that you guys are focused and you're working hard. So keep it up, okay? You guys in the last assignment were working on problems again that dealt with three-dimensional shapes or 3D objects, and we are going to continue doing that. But today we are going to be solving problems based on the description of the faces, or the way we describe the faces. And the way that we're going to do that today is by looking at the shapes of the different faces on each object. Okay, so your assignment today is a Google form, and it's based off of this lesson in the instruction workbook that you don't have. So I want to make sure that I explain this a little bit more, so you understand what each problem is asking of you. Okay, so I'm going to read the problem first, and then I'll bring your attention here to this chart, and then we'll go back to this. Okay, so it says, Aaron is building a sculpture using a pattern of shapes. He wants to include only, and I'm going to circle that, only shapes that have circular faces or at least four square faces. So only circular faces, and it must have at least four square faces. So there can be more than four, but there must be four. Okay, and here are your shapes, your 3D shapes. Which shapes will Aaron choose for his sculpture? So what Aaron did is organize and create a chart. And I added the number 4 here, but he knew that the shapes that he wants to use must have at least four square faces. So he put square faces on this side of his chart, or they could have circular faces. So that's why these two shapes or 3D objects are on this side of his chart. So before I go through this, this has already kind of been brought up, and I definitely talked about it in the last YouTube video. But I'm going to go back to that pyramid example we talked about, and how some of us were confused about the actual technical name for pyramids. And remember, I told you to look at the bottom or the base of the pyramid to look for the shape that was there, because there are such things as square pyramids or triangular pyramids. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, are the shape faces. Okay, I'm sorry, the face shapes. Apologize. So I am going to go through here and explain why some of these shapes are not in Aaron's chart. So Aaron chose obviously a cube, a cylinder, and a cone. So let's talk about the shapes that are not here. So if you go here first, we know that this is a sphere, and nobody was tricked on this. There are no faces on a sphere, there are no edges, and there are no vertices. I did have a student bring up the fact that there was a line here, though, with a dotted line in the back that was curved or rounded. And they said, well, what is this? And I said, wow, that's a really great question. So what this lets the reader know is that this is actually a 3D object. It is solid. If this was just a circle, it would literally just be a circle. Okay, but since this is here, this lets you know that this is actually curved, so we can roll it like a ball. So you know that this has to be a sphere. Well, we just said a sphere has no faces, and it must have a circular face to be in the sculpture, so we can cross this out. Okay, if you look at this shape, the cylinder, we notice that a cylinder is already in Aaron's chart here, because it does have circular faces. It has one, two. And so if you look closely on your assignments, if it has a dotted line, that just lets you know that there actually is a face there, but it's not possible to draw solid lines there. Otherwise, the shape would look really funny. Okay, so that's why the cylinder's here. We can use that. Our next shape is a cone, and we do see this cone in Aaron's chart. Um, I've had some parents ask me about this, and asking how come this is a vertex if there are no flat faces, which I understand the argument. And I remember actually the specific argument in high school, because technically that's right. For the sake of third grade math and this book, I do want you guys to know that that is a vertex or one point, and that this is a circular face on the base of this cone. So that's why Aaron put it in here. But parents, I agree with that argument, and I think that's valid. So awesome. And actually, I like when you guys send me those facts. So keep sending them. That keeps me wanting to look more into that. So thank you. Um, all right. Moving on to the rectangular prism. This is not in here. The name kind of speaks for itself. It's rectangular, meaning that there are four faces that are actually rectangles, but there are squares on the side, but there's only two. And there have to be at least four. So we can cross a rectangular prism out. We know, oh, I forgot to circle this one. We know that Aaron put the cube in his chart already, and that's because a cube is special. It has six faces, and all the faces are squares. And we must have at least four square faces, but we just said there are one, two, three, four. There's one in the back, I'm sorry, side, five, and six. So this works. And this triangular prism is not down here because this there are no circles right away, and there aren't at least four squares, so we can throw that out. Okay. He made a different type of chart down here. You do not have to do this, but these are nice just for you to be aware of. They said how many faces were in each cube, or cone or cylinder, and they name the shapes of their sides of their faces. So please be aware that's something you can do. Other than that, I think you guys are doing a really nice job. If you have questions about your assignment today, please message me right away. We are available. I honestly, I'm probably available from 8 to 3, and I usually answer emails later than that. So don't hesitate to message me because you're afraid that it's too early or too late. Just keep sending those my way. You are only going to be able to complete the Google form one time, so make sure that you're reading through carefully. Don't zoom through it. You can draw pictures to go along with that. You can refer to this video if you need to, but just keep working hard. Remember, I am not going to be really harsh with the grading because it just wouldn't be okay. I love teaching this type of stuff in person, and you know that. We like to have fun when we're learning together. So just do your best, and that's all I can ask for, guys. I hope you have a really good weekend and that you're able to get out and play. All right, talk to you soon, guys. See ya.